Dreaded studio noise. That's what we're going to talk about today. Why is that on my mind today? Well, because this morning at 7 o'clock, a work crew showed up in my backyard, and we knew they were coming sometime, but they, they didn't tell us when exactly. And at 7 o'clock is when they showed up with, oh my gosh, let's see, not a bulldozer, but one of those earth moving machines. Remember, like Fred Flintstone used to operate in the Flintstones, except he used a dinosaur to do it where, you pick up stuff and you could dig out earth and move it, and then we've got a, bobcat out there and a huge truck. Let me show you. Just wanna give you a sense of what we got going on this morning. Now, the weird thing is, I'm just gonna have to show you here on my phone, but the weird thing is they literally I don't know if you can see this alright. Get an idea. That's just out my back patio door. Um They literally just stopped before I went live. They have no idea, I didn't ask them to, but it sounds like they were not only digging up dirt, they're digging out an existing patio and pavers, and when they get up close to the house, it just rattles the foundation of the house, so it is loud. You might hear them start up again here in a minute. We're doing a big renovation. This house we bought a few months ago it's almost an acre yard, most of it backyard. It's just a big blank canvas, so we're doing a whole thing back there, but that's what that's all about. But it brought up the thing that we all have to deal with, noise. And I think oftentimes that, especially those who are newer, starting off at voiceover, think that they're in a unique situation, that they have to deal with dogs barking, semis, trucks, airplanes, helicopters, crying children, that everybody else has it together, no issues with that, and they're the only one, and that's not true. I don't know anyone, and I know a lot of people in voiceover. I don't know anyone who has a home studio that was, like, built from the foundation up as a studio, so that can you hear that? I don't know if you can. It's loud. Let's just suffice it to say I cannot record voiceovers right now. But for you and the YouTube channel, I think it makes it's great, a great illustration. So, I don't know of anybody who has a professionally built studio like that to where, like, if you dropped a bomb in the front yard, they wouldn't hear it. It just doesn't happen. So the question becomes, okay, if we know that everybody deals with it, everybody, even me who I'm illustrating here this morning, how do you deal with it? Well, first of all, you gotta chill and just you gotta go with the flow, which I know for some of you guys, me included, it can be hard to do. But you have to, some things you can fight against, some things you just can't. And you cannot control everything in your environment. Some things you might be able to. You can mitigate it, or sometimes you can deal with it entirely and not have it happen. But for the most part, you can't do that with everything. Number one, I didn't know these guys were going to show up this morning. They were already into it by the time I woke up. Actually, I sleep with earbuds in. So, I listen to rain at night, so it didn't wake me up, but it did my wife. Um, so I, didn't realize they were showing up today, and even if I had, I wouldn't have asked them to stop because this is something that needs to get done. So, I've got a lawn crew that comes out here once a week. Um, I remember once, this is a number of years ago, earlier on in my career, I was getting ready to do an ISDN session. Remember ISDN back in the old days? And my neighbor was getting ready to fire up his lawnmower. So in that case, what I did is I went out and I think my neighbors thought I was unemployed or retired or something. They didn't know what I did for a living. So I went back there and just politely explained to him I was getting ready to record and ask if he could wait 15 or 20 minutes until it was over, and he was very glad to do that. So sometimes you can go out, you can ask for help. Sometimes you can schedule around things that you know that are going on. But sometimes, like in my situation this morning, you just can't work. You just can't. And there's nothing you can do about it except, and this is what you do need to do, you need to contact any clients that this will affect. So for instance, if I have a job that was due like by 9 o'clock my time this morning, which is like in 25 minutes, if it was due and these guys are out here banging away, I probably am not going to be able to get that recorded for them. I'm going to let them know that an unforeseen circumstance has happened. There's a lot of loud noise outside of my home, but as soon as it clears, I will get it done. Will it make you sound unprofessional? No. You know what? Wow. Can you hear that? Man, wow, that was loud. Um, no, because that's voiceover. Even when even when I'm doing like a Source Connect session with a professional studio, it doesn't matter where it's at. Uh, and something, a lawnmower, somebody's mowing a lawn, it gets too close to my house and we can hear it. They're never shocked or surprised or caught off guard by that. I have never had an issue with that. Meaning whenever it's come up, they are very glad just to wait for that noise to pass. It's just I've never had a client or a studio engineer get bent out of shape over it because they know we all deal with it. So the big thing here, the big takeaway is I want you to know you're not alone. This is not a you problem. It's everybody has to deal with it. Now, one other thing I'll add is that thankfully, due to modern technology and the develop of some really great software, there's some wonderful plugins that can help. Now, there is not an anti-earth moving equipment plugin that I'm aware of, but there are some great plugins that can help to reduce noise floor so that like environmental, maybe it's a refrigerator in the background that creates this low level, hum kind of thing. Some things that you can, Adobe Audition has some great tools built in. There's Spectral View where you can identify, like for instance, if the phone rings or you can isolate a noise and take it out. Waves has a plugin called NS1, which is my favorite noise reduction software plugin. They also have Clarity VX. For voiceovers, I use since I use Universal Audio, I use their wow, that's loud. CVox, C Suite noise reduction plugin. There are others, but there are things that you can do to help reduce environmental noise, mouth noise, pops, clicks, crack, all that kind of stuff. You don't want to rely on that. Shouldn't be your first line of defense, but there are things to help you with that. So Rob says, "Oh yeah, we can hear that. It's loud." I, you know, could there possibly be a better topic for me to talk about this morning? I don't think so. So fortunately, I don't have a super full docket this morning for voiceover. I mean, I've got some stuff to do, but I'll just have to wait and work around this. I doubt that these guys will be doing this all day long. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they will be. If so, then it is what it is. I'll wait until tonight or tomorrow or whenever I can or have to. Somebody was just mentioning, yeah, some of the software being on sale. With Black Friday just around the corner, there's going to be some great deals on all this software. So again, I'm not aware of any software that'll take care of this kind of mess. But for the everyday kind of stuff, yeah, you can do that. But take comfort in knowing that we all deal with this, every single one of us. So you take a breath, let the anxiety level go down just a bit, and then you just move on with it because it's part and parcel of being a work at home voiceover talent. Well, congrats to Rusty. Rusty was first in this morning. Rusty up there in the UP. Another day at over 50 degrees. Rusty, are you kidding me? That's fantastic. Tomorrow's supposed to be 60. Feels like spring. That's awesome. Ron, good. Oh, well, we'll just move on. In Charleston, South Carolina, good morning to you. We've got Gene in Dallas, Fort Worth. Phil in Tokyo. Good morning to you, Aaron in Como. We've got Corey, countdown to Thanksgiving. Thankful for an encouraging VO family that is supportive from Whitehall, Wisconsin. Fantastic, Corey. It's something to be thankful for sure. Hey, Julie, how are you doing in Humboldt, Pennsylvania? Tyler, what's going on in Springfield, Ohio? Melissa in San Diego. Good AG, getting chilly there in India. John, how are you doing in Rhinebeck, New York? Marie in Texas. Enjoying some delicious ginger ale. Is that your breakfast beverage of choice? Bob, how's it going in Reidsville, North Carolina? Ty in Warsaw, Indiana. Terry, good morning to you in Falston, Maryland. Oh, thank you for the kind remarks, Terry. It's very, very kind of you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Timothy, good morning to you in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Mary in Atlantic City. Wayne in the great state of Washington. Hey, Jolie, beautiful weather in Montrose, Minnesota. So glad to hear that. I think we're all enjoying some spring-like weather. So just get ready. Make sure the winter coats are out and ready because you know it's coming. Not to be negative, but I'm just saying it's just around the corner. Amy in Altoona, Pennsylvania. We got a couple folks from Altoona on this morning. Mike, what's up in Spanish Fort Worth? Hey, Bill in Idaho. David in Gardner, Kansas. Tess in Decula, Georgia. It's those low rumbles that are killers. Boy, that is the truth. I can feel it. I mean, my seat's vibrating when these guys. It sounds like they're using a jackhammer. I'm guessing they're going around the foundation of the house and separating the brick pavers out so they can haul that all out. And when it's all done, I'll have to give you a tour. We're very excited. We've never spent this much money on a backyard, but we, we bought the house, great house, and thankfully, due to voiceover, we were able to pay cash for it, which is no, that's not exactly right. We paid it off like within a month of buying it, but anyhow, so we decided to put our money in the backyard. So we're doing actually some construction, building like a gazebo, not a gazebo, but a pavilion, kind of roof off the thing and whole big area and all that stuff. So again, I'll have to give you a tour of that later. We're pretty excited. So this is all this inconvenience here. Next spring, next summer, we won't give this all a second thought. Bernard in Atlanta, how you doing? Robert, how are you doing? In Altoona. Let's see here. Marie, hello. Denise in Long Island. Bill, finished my VO demo last night. Way to go, Bill. Still need some tweaks, but I'm getting better. Bill, way to go. And then, that's without a demo, you can't do anything. So for those of you guys who haven't done it yet, do what Bill just did. Get your DIY demo at the very least. Get that together as quickly as you can. Otherwise, nothing else happens. We've got Peter Jones in the UK. Hey, Peter, got my brand new vocal booth being delivered and fitted November 28th. Super excited. Absolutely. That's a big deal. I tell you what, it's a pretty big investment for somebody just getting started off, unless you've, been saving your pennies. I couldn't afford a booth when I first got started. But I waited, and I was working, my bedroom closet worked out very well. But after 4 years, and I was like, you know what, just spend the money. And so I got the booth, and man, it's not 100% soundproof, clearly, but it helps. Okay, we've got JL from just outside Portland. Amisha, definitely need to hear this message today. Outside noise gives me anxiety sometimes when I'm trying to record client projects. Amisha, yeah, absolutely. And that's why, because I've been there. I know what that feels like. And I used to think, oh my gosh, certainly nobody else had to deal with all the stuff that I did. But yeah, we all do. It's part of the gig. James, how are you doing? John, Bird Time Clock, the Flintstones. Yeah. I guess that dates me a little bit, but I was a huge Flintstones fan when I was a kid. I remember one year for Christmas, it's funny, I just had this memory that my mom and dad, or Santa, gave me was a Dino the Dinosaur. Like they had like a toy of it. It was like a big kind of a thing you could operate. Love that thing. Danielle in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Good morning, Dave in New York City. How you doing? Mark, what's going on in Estes Park, Colorado? James. Good morning, Joe in Rhode Island. Hey, Rob, good morning to you in Loveland. Last night, 2 Carolina wrens got in the house. We got one out, but the other flew into the basement and into my studio. Wonder if it can read. Whoa, talking about dealing with stuff. 2 California wrens flew into your house. One went to the basement and into your studio. My gosh, I did. Hopefully you've been able to get him out. If not, yeah, hopefully he can assist you today if he's still around. That's crazy. Wow. Let's see here. Miss Johnny in Houston. Mine is teens dribbling basketball next door. Who knew the ball reverbs so much? It's funny when you're not in voiceover, you don't hear any of this stuff. At least it's a passing thing. When you're in voiceover, everything becomes amplified. You hear everything. It's kind of the curse of being a voiceover talent, is that you become so sensitive to noises. I mean, everything. Professor Tracy in Rochester, Minnesota. How you doing, Tracy? Sandra in Dallas, Fort Worth. Theo says, good morning. From the kitchen table in lovely Palos Hills, Illinois, where the NS1 plugin was my hero when my neighbor had contractors using a noisy stone saw outside for days. NS1 totally removed it. Theo, I'm telling you, that's NS1 is the stuff. That is it. There is nothing more effective, in my humble opinion. I call it the magic eraser for voiceover. And you can get it on sale. Sometimes it goes on sale for like 29 bucks. Keep an eye on it, waves.com. I don't get paid for saying that, by the way. I'm saying that because it's awesome. Ethan in Toronto, Aaron, good morning. My friends and I are signing up for Mallory's Fiverr course. I'm looking forward to it. Aaron, fantastic. Yeah. I mean, Fiverr is such a great platform. I mean, as a matter of fact, I booked a couple of jobs recently. I don't book a lot of work. I mean, I might get a job every month or two on Fiverr, but I booked, I think this month, about 800 bucks off of Fiverr, which was pretty exciting. And Mallory's, I mean, she knows Fiverr inside and out. She has a course for those of you who are interested. The website is Mallory, Mallory, Mallory Fiverr with 2 R's, Fiverr training, MalloryFiverrTraining.com. Matt, what's up in central New Jersey? Yeah, boom, bam, boom. That's right. Wow. AG says, hear it? I can feel it. Yeah, me too. The only consolation I get out of this is I know this is something that we've been working on this for a while and have meetings with, the contractors and have carefully gone through, oh my gosh, so many decisions to make in terms of like pavers, like what type, what size, what color combination, what design of fire pit do you want? I mean, it's just like all kinds of minute details. But so this is, it's welcomed, believe it or not. Good morning from Lower Alabama, not to be confused with LA, Los Angeles. I have converted an entire room of my home for a studio, and my biggest problem is noise floor. Well, Big John, then this video is for you, for sure. We've got John in noiseless Memphis for now. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday. He's a very successful voiceover guy, and also we worked in radio at the same, not together, different. We didn't know each other, but we worked in radio in different markets. Actually, we worked for the same owners for a while. But he was in Memphis, and he worked for a radio station that was owned by Sam Phillips, who was the guy who started and owned Sun Records. Elvis Presley. We could go on and on with the artists that went through there, but he actually he knew Sam Phillips because Sam was in the radio station a number of times every week. How cool would that be? And the guy that was on the air after him was one of Elvis Presley's best friends. Elvis had been a best man in his wedding. Isn't that crazy? I didn't realize that until we were having a conversation yesterday. I didn't know that until yesterday. Sandra in Worthington, Ohio, had a full day of next door free cutting. Oh, tree cutting. Oh yeah, tree cutting. That's always a fun one too. We had that. We had the tree trimmers out a couple of days ago. Of course, that was noise that we elected to have, though. It's something else. It's when you're not the one who chooses it. It's your neighbors. It's when I first got in voiceover, we lived in a newer neighborhood, and there was a lot of new construction. And for the first couple of years, it was constantly houses being built around us down the street. It was always something to deal with. Mike, good morning to you in Calgary. Woke up today to the notification from Fiverr that I'm officially a level 2 seller. That's for you, Mike. Congrats. Thanks, Bill and Mallory, and for her Fiverr course. Yeah, absolutely. Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. And Fiverr has levels, so the higher up you go, the more they open up the gates for traffic to hear your demos and stuff. So that's a good thing. Dale in Atlanta, good morning. Aaron. It looks like the C-Suite noise reduction for Universal Audio has a discount right now. I guess it's their pre-Friday sale. Let's see here. Let's see, who have I not said hello to yet? Oh, West Virginia checking in. Purchased my audiobook yesterday. Thank you for that, and I hope you enjoy that. Hey, Gary, how are you doing? Waves Clarity VX is pretty danged good for noise reduction too, and simple. And Gary, that's one of the things I love about those Waves plugins. Clarity VX, I think, is like, I think there's 2 parameters, NS1 is like 1 parameter. I mean, I love how simple their stuff is to use, at least the stuff that I use. The small beep in the smoke detector makes every few seconds finds its way to my recordings. I hate it when that happens. Ashley in the UK, how are you doing? Andrew, leaf blowers going in full force outside my studio in Connecticut. Oh my gosh. And Gary says there's heavy rain hitting the metal roof of the studio right now in the Montana wilderness. I'll just edit instead. There you see. You find something else to be, to keep productive. So you break and you do editing. I love that, Gary. That's a good strategy. Albuquerque, how are you doing? Mark, can't wait for the backyard party. Absolutely. You're all invited, by the way. Wouldn't that be fun? Kyle in Allenson, Missouri. All right, guys, I think I got everybody in. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Don't let the noise stress you out. It happens. So, you can work around it, take a break, go for a walk, or, if it's a neighbor and you're getting ready to do a directed session, you can always ask if they can politely wait for a few minutes until you're done. Um, or use noise reduction software if you can. But it is something that we all deal with. So hang in there. Have a great day. I'll talk to you. Oh, I didn't mention. Oh my gosh, I didn't mention. Black Friday is just around the corner, and I want to get you. If you guys are interested in participating, this is like I put together. This is my best package ever. It's huge. It's huge, and it's extremely cheap. And, we're limiting the sale of these to 300 units. And so if you wanna make sure you have access, if you go below in the description, you'll see a link, and you can get on my early bird list. What that does, it gives you 1 hour access earlier before the general public so that, we will make sure that you get it if you really want it. So check it out, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow.